Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. It's a new album review. Came out a couple of months ago. This is the Genesis Boxset BBC broadcast. And me being a huge Genesis fan from the very beginning, pretty excited to get this box. Been listening to it, and it's time to do the review. So let's check it out. If you're new to my channel or you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. Help my channel to grow. Let's check it out. This disc is 5 CDs, no DVDs. We're going to talk about that. 5 CDs. Here's disc number 1, which early stuff from 70 through 73. Phenomenal. And disc number 2 is Nebworth 78 and the first half of Lyceum 80. They split that in 2 discs, understandable. Disc number 3 is the second half of Lyceum 80. Then you get 2 tracks from Wembley 87, which then continue on disc number 4. Kind of strange. I don't like the way they broke that up. And then 2 more songs on there from the NEC with the Ray Wilson era for 2 tracks. And then disc number 5 from Nebworth of 92. They really should have put those 2 87 Wembleys on disc 4 and moved those 2 NECs to disc number 5. I don't understand what they were thinking there. And they had the room and it doesn't make any sense. But not the biggest deal in the world. All right, let's crack this thing open. You open it up, there is your hype sticker, 52 tracks and 5 CDs from 1970 through whatever, 1998. And then you get the book, and the book's good. Pretty good. It's a soft cover, not overwhelmingly huge. You could read it pretty quickly, but gives you the basic information, a couple of nice pictures. You know, pretty good book. It's fine. It's a fine book. And then you get the 5 discs. I actually like the artwork, so let's get into it a little bit. You pull them out, and they're loose like this. Disc number 1, great cover. You got Peter Gabriel in the flower costume, the mask, originally, of course, from Supper's Ready, not on here. And you get the 3 tracks from Night Ride from 1970. Cool to have. Nice that they put all the BBC stuff together, but the fact of the matter is those 3 tracks have been around. They're already available on this, and even on the extra tracks, I believe, on this one. But it's already been on there. But that's okay. You want to put it all together as the BBC. That's fine. And they're cool. Recordings, I like them. Let Us Now Make Love's cool track. Paris, Fountain Sarmasis, musical box, amazing. Stagnation, which is also able to be found on these previous releases. That's been previously available, but again, great to have that. It's a really good version from Trespass. And then you get Harlequin, amazing. Love to hear that live from Nursery Crime. That's a really deep cut. Get them out by Friday Rocks. Howard the Bell, another deep cut from Nursery Crime. Great to hear that one. And Twilight Alehouse, well, that's been previously available, of course. That was unreleased, but it was used as a B-side, I think, for Watch Her Disguise, if I remember right. And speaking of Watch Her Disguise, a latter-day live version from 75, the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway tour, but they would encore with that. That's disc 1. That is a great disc, obviously. Disc number 2, what do you got for that? Well, you got the artwork from A Trick of the Tail. Kind of interesting, because this disc number 2 is really more Duke area. But you'll see, Nebworth 78, you got Squonk, well, that's from Trick of the Tail. And you get Burning Rope, Dance on a Volcano, Drum Duet in Los Angeles, well, that's just incredible. And then you get the first half of the Lyceum show from 1980. That is a classic Genesis concert. It's amazing. They played small places purposely on that Duke tour in England and recorded a bunch of them in the Lyceum. It's really famous. You go to disc number 3, and there's their second half of the Lyceum. So they split the Lyceum show on 2 discs. Understandable and not a problem. It works really well. They finish off disc 3 with those 2 tracks from Wembley 87, Mama and Domino, which continues on disc 4, which got that Home by the Sea kind of graphic. And there is the rest of that Wembley 87 show. And then they finish disc 4 with 2 tracks from, the Calling All Stations era, which are pretty good. Not About Us is a good acoustic version. The Dividing Line, well, kind of goes on. It's just okay. But I don't like the way they broke this up. It makes no logical sense to me. They should have split the Lyceum that they did, but move the 2 tracks of that NEC onto the next disc. And the next disc would have fit it because it's like out of order. Disc 5 is the Nebworth stuff, and there's disc 5 with some of that latter day stuff. They could have put the Cornwall Station stuff on this disc. It would have made more sense, and even chronologically it would have made more sense. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. The final disc, my least favorite, obviously. I'm just an early Genesis fan. But, it's okay. The old medley is pretty good. And I Can Dance, I actually hate that song. But it rocks much harder live than it does on the studio version. But I'm just not a huge fan of this latter-day Genesis. So there is the track listings on these 5 discs. So what's my criticism? Well, the Lyceum show is an amazing concert. Here's a bootleg of it. So this is the first time Genesis is releasing, quote-unquote, the whole show, except they didn't do the whole show. It's missing a couple of tracks. Here's the full real show on bootleg, and they're missing Squonk from A Trick of the Tail, and they're missing Dance on a Volcano Drum Duet in Los Angeles. Now, I know that stuff is available already in other versions, but if you're going to release the Lyceum show, you should have the whole thing. You could have fit it, and they didn't. So, not really understanding that point. Another big point with the Lyceum is the Lyceum was professionally recorded, filmed. And if you go on YouTube, well, you'll see it. Why don't they put it on here? They only did the CDs, the audio. The Lyceum show is a great performance, and there's been tons of Genesis videos released. There's even a movie box, and the Lyceum's not on that. I don't understand why they didn't do the DVD official version, on this box for the BBC. You got the audio, you could have done the video. And I have this Kinks box as an illustration. This is a Kinks at the BBC box. Much higher quality than what you just looked at. And it's a ton of Kinks stuff on here. And what you wind up seeing is, there's still 5 CDs, which is what this got, but then you got a DVD with like a ton of Kinks performances from the BBC. Now, Genesis sells a lot more records and CDs than the Kinks. If the Kinks could have done it, you guys could have done it, and you should have done it. The Lyceum stuff on video was only released officially on the DVD portion of Duke, but it's only a select couple of tunes. It's like 35 minutes, I think it is, or 40 minutes. Life at the Lyceum, London, 1980. They should have done the whole show on here on DVD. And they should have released the whole show on CD, on the audio. Other than that, some of those earlier tracks, well, you'll find them on the archive set here. This was the first archive set. But it's not really. There's Twilight Ale House, and there is in the, Shepherd, Pasadena, Let Us Now Make Love. It's already been released, but that's okay. Not really a criticism because, it's good to have it in one place. Genesis Archive 2, a really strange mixture of stuff. Also has some live stuff mixed in there. But, like I said, it's okay. Better to have it all in one spot and easier to listen. So overall, it's a great box. If you're a fan of Genesis, you kind of get it all on here. You get the early stuff, which I love, the middle stuff, which I love, the latter day stuff, which I'm not such a huge fan of. But you get it on here for those people who love I Can't Dance and Invisible Touch. You get the live stuff, live versions of that as well. So really, if you're a Genesis fan and you want to experience what they sound live, from different periods of their career, this is a really good purchase. Highly recommended. So good thumbs up. It could have been more, but overall, a great job. What did the Stones say? You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Well, it's good to have this. It could have been more, but it's still pretty great. So there you have it. Let me know what you think about this Genesis BBC broadcast box. If you have it, Let me know what your opinion is. But glad to have it in my collection with every other Genesis album. And it's actually a good listen. It's not the kind of box that you just filter away. I'm sure I'll be listening, on occasion to these recordings. Although I got to say, the Lyceum one, I'll probably still stick with the bootleg because I want the extra tracks that are missing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I got a cold. And in case you're wondering, this Rhino hat, no, Rhino didn't give it to me. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not big enough for anybody to sponsor me. I'm just a huge fan. I bought this hat a long time ago. And Rhino does a great job. They did this box and deserve accolades. The best reissue label there is, in my opinion. Alrighty, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great night. I will see you on the next video. Have a good one.